Here's a look from Cherry Beach this evening. Freezing rain and strong winds making for a messy evening in Toronto as a spring ice storm sweeps through the region. Environment Canada says freezing rain warnings are in effect, especially in cottage country where major power outages have been reported. Police are advising folks to avoid non-essential travel as road conditions are expected to deteriorate. Let's bring in weather specialist Noor Rafat. Hi, Noor.
Hey, thanks very much, Catherine. Well, it's a good idea to heed. Pinpoint radar shows large parts of cottage country are still dealing with that freezing rain, even periods of snow. And that freezing rain started to move into the Toronto region in the last hour or so and continues into the evening. And this is what we're talking about when we mean ice buildup. That's the kind of weight that it adds to tree branches and power lines, causing them to come down. And we saw earlier today some 68,000 customers of Hydro One out of power. And those numbers, of course, are still and crews are still working on those numbers as we speak. Those warnings aren't going anywhere because we're expecting freezing rain through this evening in the GTHA and through tomorrow for much of cottage country in the east. Up to the north, that's where we're looking at the heavy snow. And again, expecting 20 to 30 centimeters accumulation in the next 48 hours or so for those communities that are affected by these warnings. So here we are looking at that freezing rain extending into your evening in the GTHA. Tomorrow, still looking at a freezing rain start to the day in Peterborough, North Bay, Kingston. As the day progresses, it'll start to move out to transition to rain in the cards as well. And we'll talk more in the full forecast about what your Monday and what your Tuesday will look like. Starting to see some shifting wind direction in Windsor. That's where we're seeing some crazy temperatures, 17 feeling closer to 20. Tomorrow, a rapid climb in temperatures for Toronto, although not as warm, but a high of 8 around 11 p.m. with some windy conditions. Kat?
Thank you, Noor. It was the first full weekend of Time now to check in on the long-range weather forecast, and weather specialist Noor Rafat joins me here at the desk. And Noor, I know it always takes time to really transition and feel spring, but we are itching for those higher temperatures, aren't we?
Yeah, we definitely are. I don't know if spring is itching for making its way into this region, Catherine. It seems like it wants to take its time. We are going to see some double digits in the next few days, which is some good news. Whether or not those double digits will come with some sunshine, though, that's the big question. Well, it'll be a gradual climb in those temperatures in Toronto tomorrow. 5 degrees by the afternoon, but getting to the 8-degree mark by the late evening. And that is paired with periods of on and off rain. Along with that, some windy conditions. So yes, a cool start to your day as well, with temperatures just above the freezing mark. If you are tired of the cold, join the party. Much of the country is seeing temperatures below average, even all the way in Vancouver, where 11 degrees should be at around 14 degrees. We're already starting to see that warm air trickle in around parts of the Great Lakes, but of course many would like to see those warmer conditions be paired with some sunshine, and unfortunately for some, those two will take a little bit of time to match up. So certainly not looking at much sunshine come tomorrow. It's going to be still quite messy into the early morning hours. Rain for the GTHA, but freezing rain for Peterborough, Bencroft, Ottawa, and to Cornwall, Kingston, even into Sault Ste. Marie and Niagara Falls. As the day progresses, things will improve, especially around cottage country, with some rain into the evening. Still quite messy up to the north, and some areas around the shores of Lake Huron could even see periods of snow lingering into the start of their Monday. But as the afternoon progresses, some sunny breaks could be in store, and really Tuesday is that day where we'll start to see the sun return, the sweet spot when it comes to the sunshine, but unfortunately it will be paired with some cooler conditions. So freezing rain accumulation, the heaviest expected around Sudbury and to the north, but also just to the south of Bancroft, around the Kawarthas as well. 9 to 10 additional millimeters could be expected in the next 24 to 48 hours. It is 4 degrees overnight tonight in London. By tomorrow, Windsor, Ontario nearing the 20-degree mark, and again 5 degrees in Toronto by the afternoon, but climbing to 8 degrees, 14 in Niagara Falls, 6 in Peterborough. 11 degrees by Monday with some windy conditions and some cloudy skies. Cooler but sunnier on Tuesday. Round 2 rolls into Wednesday with some a mix of rain and snow. Don't call in sick on Thursday. Your boss is going to know what you're up to. 16 degrees, and the start of the weekend also looking nice, 7 degrees with some sunny breaks.
Well, it remains messy out there tonight in the GTA and beyond. Freezing rain warnings remain in effect for swaths of Ontario and Quebec. Major power outages ongoing in cottage country tonight, but Hydro One crews are working to restore power as quickly as possible. Drivers are cautioned of slippery conditions and urged to avoid unnecessary travel. For more on what to expect overnight into tomorrow, let's bring in weather specialist Noor Rafat. Noor?
Hey, thanks very much, Catherine. Yeah, a good idea to heed that advice as things remain quite active across the province into this evening as well. And we're seeing the CN Tower obscured by that messy weather that we've got in Toronto. It has switched to rain for large sections of the GTHA, and that's the case outside the Toronto airport, 0 degrees just now. You can see there is still a lot of freezing rain, and our pinpoint radar shows us it's still quite hectic around the Peterborough region, although they are seeing some snow as well. Huntsville with some snow. Parts of the GTHA also still seeing some freezing rain, and this is the kind of ice buildup we're talking about. That's how you're seeing that weight added to those branches, to those power lines, causing them to come down. And at some point earlier today, we were seeing 120,000 customers experiencing power outages through Hydro One alone. And of course, those numbers keep changing as that situation remains active. Freezing rain warnings still in place, although they might clear for the GTHA later tonight. But this extends all the way towards Quebec, as you mentioned, and up to the north. That's where we're seeing the snowfall warnings. 20 to 30 centimeters could be possible for northern Ontario and pushing into northern Quebec as well. Tomorrow starts off quite messy, still with that freezing rain in Peterborough all the way towards Cornwall. In the morning, rain for much of the GTHA, and by the afternoon that dries up. We are expecting still this system to continue well into your Monday, and I'll talk more in the full forecast about what that will look like. Wind direction has been shifting in the Windsor region, and that made for some crazy temperatures earlier today. 19 degrees for that high. Dare we see the same amounts in Toronto tomorrow? Well, not so much. 8 degrees for that high by 11 p.m. and some windy conditions. Kat?
Thank you, Noor. Police are in. Time now to check in on the long-range weather forecast, and for that we're joined by our weather specialist Noor Rafat. So Noor, I don't know about you, but I am tired of the cold and I am ready for spring.
Me and you both, sister. And I think many of our viewers can certainly agree. We want the spring both in temperatures and in sunshine, beautiful blue skies. When will those roll into your viewing region? Well, some point during the next 7 days. That's the good news. The not so great news is that both of these things may not always match up. Well, don't expect some sunny breaks in the Toronto region tomorrow. It will be mostly cloudy and some messy weather to start off the day. Mostly rain in the Toronto region, and that continues on and off through the course of your day. Temperatures gradually on the climb, 8 degrees by 11 o'clock with some gusty winds as well, up to 45 kilometers per hour. If you're tired of the cold, me too, and many across the country can share that sentiment. Tomorrow brings some warmer weather for many communities that have been seeing below average temperatures. Here is that trough, or that ridge rather, starting to build slowly around the Great Lakes. Some incredible temperatures, 22 degrees in areas like Indianapolis today. So that extends into the Midwest, the Northeast, parts of Ontario tomorrow. Windsor could see 20 degrees come tomorrow. Also warmer in areas like Vancouver, 15 degrees. Still quite cool, though, as you head towards central and eastern parts of the prairies. It's not just the temperatures that we're fixated on, but the messy weather, and this will take its time before it moves out. By tomorrow morning, large parts of the Golden Horseshoe will be seeing some rain to start off the day, but not everyone. You can see there's still freezing rain to kick off the morning in Peterborough, Muskoka. And that freezing rain extends to the east, Ottawa, Cornwall, all the way up towards Sault Ste. Marie as well. As the day progresses, conditions will improve later on in the evening. But by Monday, swaths of heavy rain could roll in, especially around the east. It won't be until Tuesday where you'll start to see that bright and beautiful sunshine make a return. So we're still ways away from that, and we are still expecting some heavy accumulation when it comes to that ice. Around Bancroft, 12 millimeters. Additional millimeters could be possible around the Peterborough region, 6 millimeters heading into the day tomorrow. So still a very active situation, a very dangerous situation, and already starting to see much of those power outages extend into large parts of cottage country all the way to the east and into northern Ontario as well. 10 degrees in Guelph, 12 in Bradford, Stratford, Ontario, 13 degrees. Your next 7 days, 11 by Monday in Toronto with a lot of cloudy conditions, 3 degrees. But with some beautiful sunshine on Tuesday. Round 2 rolls in on Wednesday. How about Thursday? 16 degrees. Don't call in sick because your manager will know what you're up to. By the weekend, still temperatures above average. Cloudy for Saturday with a high of 8 degrees.